Yay! Oh, it was extremely difficult for me to be able to go live right now. It was fighting me, fighting me, fighting me. All right, welcome everyone. Hello, I'm Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Pearl. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change the energy within. And hopefully, my readings do help you to do that. Okay, we are looking at. We're doing an energy check-in of masculine and feminine energy, Shiva and Shakti. Please do not mistake this energy as masculine gender and feminine gender because it has nothing to do with gender, nor does it have anything to do with only a specific person that you're focused on. Can you get information about specific people you're focused on? Absolutely, but only if you understand yourself. Because I do think that when we project a lot of thoughts and feelings onto people that are really the way that we might think or feel, or our fears that we project on others. So I really caution you when you watch readers and they tell you, oh, your person's doing this and they have a third party and blah 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 blah. Um, the truth is, it's somewhere in between what your mind thinks and what your heart feels, and hopefully my readings help you to distinguish those things. And if you're not here to learn about another person and you want to learn about yourself, that's awesome. That's where you should be, honestly, if you want to have good relationships. You are going to get information about career, love, just anything, because it's the energy that exists within you and it's affecting all areas of your life. So that's what we're looking at today. So, the songs that played today, let's see. I'm going to go back over them so that you can get to the full picture. The last song that just played, It Shouldn't Hurt So Much to Be Your Angel, that felt like it was coming from the feminine energy for me. It's by Sev Deliza, and it's a really great song. You should definitely check it out. We had Nirvana with Ain't It a Shame, which felt like masculine energy to me. So, someone who's ashamed of their behavior. We also had for the masculine energy the Buffalo Springfield questions. Where are we going, love? What are you feeling? Now that I've caught my love, my head is reeling. Definitely, again, I'm getting a that actually could be either or. And that's it. I quit. I'm moving on, which was giving me distinctly the energy of the same, like the feminine energy that's like, it shouldn't hurt this much. I quit. So that's the energy that's coming through. Like if you're looking at from a love perspective. Now, if you're looking at that from your perspective, it shouldn't hurt this much to be your angel is like to basically protect and guard and guide yourself, or to be able to um like if you have this idea that you're trying to bring to life, it shouldn't hurt so much to like see that come to life. The Nirvana with Ain't It a Shame, it's kind of like feeling like, for me, that gives me a sense of um you're kind like, it's like ain't it a shame to go fishing on a Sunday instead of um honoring what you're supposed to be doing. You're kind of like giving in to, maybe you have a goal that you're trying to follow, but you keep letting yourself like binge watch a show instead, and you're carrying shame around that. Where are we going? So this could just be a lot of questions around what point you're at in life, etc. And that's it. I quit is your whatever it is that you've been trying to do. Maybe it has been fighting you and you feel like it's time to quit. So the reason why I give these messages that come through music is because initially, when I started Tuned in Tarot, which is what I was initially first called, I used to listen to music and shuffle cards to get like the messages together to come in unison. And ground my reading in the feeling or emotions of the music. So let us begin. The top of the deck for masculine energy. This is the overall way that this masculine is looking at the world and thinking about the world, or thinking about what's going on with him. We have here the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card that is about someone going away, someone leaving something behind. Usually, what we say is that they're leaving good things and bad things behind. It can also be a card about coming home or returning. But for me, I'm thinking that this particular masculine energy is thinking of, or on the mind is ideas around abandonment. I'm just gonna wipe down the. My camera looks really blurry. Sorry, going black for a minute. Just make sure. I think maybe it's my lighting. I forgot to put my light up. Right there, you go. I'm also looking at like a 4K camera on my phone at the same time, so like my poor 2015 MacBook Pro webcam just doesn't cut it next to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Okay, so I definitely get the sense that what is consuming the mind for you, the person that's probably tuned into this reading, it has to do with whether or not another person that you focused on is ever going to come back. That's the most typical one. It can also be that's it, I quit, I'm moving on. It can be for those of you that are like, yeah, I there's nothing left for me here in these cups and I have to go. And so either you're the one that's like, yeah, there's nothing here for me, and you've been moving on, or you're the person. You could also be thinking about them returning to you, honestly, in that state. Or the person that is thinking like, oh, when are they going to come back to me, is coming up. So that's the energy. Something has gone away, or is going away, or wants to go away. That's where we're at. Feminine energy overall. Okay, this is interesting. So the heart, the emotions of the feminine, we've got the Four of Coins here, which is, instead of moving on, it's holding on. So there is an urge to hold on. You might be saying, that's it, I quit, but you still keep holding on. You're still staying. And this can be a good thing. It can be, if you are like, I'm working on a huge project. I built the Center for Intuitive Art Sciences and Living Intelligence, and I am in the early stages of, incorporating and doing everything you need to do. And it's hard, and it costs a lot of money, and it's discouraging. And you definitely shouldn't try to imagine running an entire university by yourself. You can't do that. You need a team. And I would love to just like walk away from it and quit. But I know that I have built a solid foundation for something much larger to grow. So I'm holding on. So for some feminines, this could mean people that identify in their feminine energy more strongly. They're more somebody that's more emotional and able to like really feel and intuit and create from that emotional space. And this is why I don't associate feminine energy with gender, because people will say, like, the patriarchy likes to tell us that women are too emotional to do things, and then they start wars over their emotions. Emotions aren't exclusive to women. They're not exclusive to any gender. Everyone is emotional, no matter what they're like. And they might try to pretend, because they have vilified the feminine so drastically in order to take back power from matriarchy, that they now tell themselves that it's the weakest form of behavior, but it's actually the strongest. Because it is the part that connects us to the divine. It is the part that is the creation of the universe. So they've tried really hard, and it's not going very well, as you can see by the constant war and strife that they have brought with them. So our hearts are holding on to whatever it is that we fear we should walk away from, or something that may have walked away from us, or maybe we walked away from something. We're still holding on. We're still holding on, even though we're in this situation. Why? Why are our minds still holding on to these things? Well, let's look at why in the heart. So Why is the masculine energy thinking a lot about this? Or maybe I should say, how does it make him feel? Okay. So when the masculine energy focuses on these abandonment wounds, someone coming or going, leaving them behind, whatever it is, it's coming from this place of fear, a lot of fear. We've got the Nine of Swords here. This is torturing them. This idea is torturing them. So for me, if we're going to look at this as a love reading or from that perspective, there's a person that is absolutely cannot stop thinking about this abandonment. So I'm hearing she's gone, he's gone. I'm hearing like, are they going to come back? I really did it this time. I like, there's all kinds of, they're beating themselves up. You can see all these swords are coming down and hitting this person because this person is beating themselves up for whatever this is. If they left someone, they can't stop thinking about the consequences of that action. If they were left behind, they can't stop thinking about why that's happening. So the reason why there's this focus on needing to quit or move on for some is because they feel tortured, mentally tortured in the place where they've been. And the reason why someone else is feeling tortured by thinking about abandonment, it's definitely bringing up some kind of wounds from when they were young. So that's clear. Okay. Then feminine energy, what's your feelings that are kind of stemming from this Four of Cups? We have the Seven of Cups here. Now, one of the songs was about confusion. It was literally questions. And the Seven of Cups can represent a lot of options and opportunities and being kind of confused about what exactly you want or which one you should choose. It's not entirely clear. So the feminine energy is probably holding on to what she knows, what is solid, what has been, because she's kind of unclear about what energy she should open up to. This can be jobs, careers, and people. It doesn't necessarily have to be just in regards to love. So there's confusion there. Now, she also has a whole lot of opportunities, which is probably why the masculine energy on the other side of that, if this were in a relationship, is feeling very afraid. Because if he at all is aware of how great, which he is, this person who left is, he knows that that person has got a lot of opportunities to go in a lot of different directions and to leave them behind. So that's energy is overall for today. This is for me, and I like to relate it back to me so that you can see how to relate it to a connection and your life at the same time. I left someone behind because I had waited a really long time and I just don't think they were ever gonna talk to me. So I left them behind and I focused instead on building a foundation for myself. And I built the center for myself. And now I am kind of confused about like, well, I don't know if I'm, what other options are out there. I know I have options, but I don't know like which direction I want to go in. And I don't know exactly how to continue to build the financial stability that I need from what it is that I've created. And meanwhile, it looks like my person is really beating himself up about what he did, which he should, because he really did shitty things, and I know like it's coming from his wounds, but I apologize when I act from a wounded place. So there you go. So I can apply this both to my connection and both to like the business I'm building, because I also really just want to give up and walk away from what I'm building because it's extremely difficult. And I beat myself up and I'm like, you're not doing this fast enough and you're not doing enough work and you're not like da 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 da. So that's what I mean when I say that my readings are not just to be applied to the connection. Like when I used to read and I was interested only in centering my person, every one of my tarot readings I would just be reading as, oh well, he's upset, or he's gone away and it's really torturing him, blah, 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 blah. And then I just kept reading those readings and reading those readings and reading those readings, and we're 5 years from the time that I started reading them. And I realized like there was no movement. I couldn't figure out what it was. And it was because I was focused on this other person for this whole time. and I was neglecting all of the best parts of me, and I was like projecting all of those best parts onto that person. Like, I'm a great musician, I would be like, he's a great musician. Okay, well, I'm a great musician, and then I'd be like, oh, it was this centering of this other person, which we are literally taught to do. We're taught to center masculine energy in our society as feminine. So that's what was happening. And now I recognize that my power lies in seeing my energy as mine alone, and the person that's outside of me just reflecting it back to me, kind of giving me a litmus test for where I'm at in the world. All right, let's get into it. So, what is this person, this masculine energy, or you yourself? What is it that you're carrying with you from the past, from like the last week or so? Because I'm not doing like a lifetime thing. This is just like the last couple of weeks. What do we have? We have here the Two of Cups and the Queen of Wands, and she looks awesome. This is the Pulp Tarot. I love this deck. I forgot to tell all the decks. Pulp Tarot, Cosmic Tarot, Tarot of the Divine, and the Dreaming Way Tarot we're using today. And I love to use 4 decks because whenever the cards match up, I'm like, look at that. Oh, I forgot to do underlying energy. Hold this thought. We really need to do underlying energy before we get into past energy. So that was the overall energy. What is lying underneath? What is the reason why? I started to say that and then didn't look at the cards. What's the reason why the masculine and feminine energy are feeling this way? Well, the reason why the masculine energy is really tortured over the potential abandonment, which I think he started and then she finished type of a deal, or she wants to finish maybe, is because deep down he knows that this person or this opportunity represents the 10 of Cups, which is bliss, fulfillment. Oh my gosh, thank you, Miranda. I'm sorry, I was not seeing the comments here. Thank you. Miranda says, I'm a great musician. Thank you. And that means a lot to me because she has good taste. So the 10 of Cups is everything he could have had. Everything he could have had, or everything he wants, or everything that's going to fulfill him. That's why he's so freaking scared that he's potentially lost it. And what's underlying this, torture feeling that he has in the heart space, we have the Fool energy. So he's beating himself up. I'm an idiot. I am the biggest idiot that has ever walked on the earth. The Fool is also giving me a clue to what will help shift the energy for him, which is to create a clean slate. Now, this person cannot create a clean slate unless he comes forward and actually apologizes, because he's carrying shame, the shame that came up in that song. So there's no clean slate here without making the slate clean, without cleansing it and washing it, wiping away what was there. And you can't wipe it away and pretend it wasn't there if someone else has a record of it. It doesn't go away just because you wiped it out of your mind. They have to forgive themselves and understand, that they behaved almost in a naive way because they didn't have all the tools they needed. When you're a fool and you're just starting out, all you have is your baggage, right? You don't have anything else. So you just grab your baggage and you go right into the project that you're building, for instance, or whatever. So, truly, he can't blame himself for not being equipped to be able to show up in the way that he desires. So apply this to your person and apply this to yourself. You can't blame yourself for not being equipped for showing up to something without all of the tools that you need to be able to create the thing that you desire, right? And so that shame and blame has got to go away. It's stopping you in your tracks. It's keeping you from being able to actually do what it is that you want to do in the world. And that's what's happening for this person. Now, what is underlying the feminine energy? This is what I was, when I first shuffled the cards, if you saw me shuffling the cards here on the TikTok live stream, I was like, oh my God, because the top of the masculine energy was this 8 of Cups. And at the exact moment that I said, it was almost like the masculine and feminine had switched. The bottom of the feminine deck card, I pulled that card and it was the same as the top. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy synchronicity. So if you're applying this reading to another person, you have switched places. This can mean, for those of you that were in runner chaser energy, you've switched to running, they switch to chasing. But I don't feel a lot of people running away or avoiding this person. I feel it's much more that they stopped chasing. And now this other person is kind of in the role of, if they want to resurrect this, they're going to have to come to you, not even chase you. They're going to just have to come. You need to chase anybody. You just need to come in and respect them. It's really not hard. So I think that that's definitely something that's probably happened in connections for people that are here. For those of you that are applying this just to your life or your work, you, in your mind, you're thinking about, you're abandoning yourself by focusing on the shame from feeling like you're being foolish in some way. And your heart is urging you to return to yourself, return to your center, return to home, because you, like, your heart knows that you don't deserve this kind of treatment, that you don't deserve to beat yourself up, that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just being, right? You're just being in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. So the feminine energy, I do think, underlying her thoughts about what she's holding on to, I do think there are those of us in the collective that do hope that the person we focused on for so long would come home to us, would return to us. But we're sort of determined to just work on our foundation and go and continue going in the direction towards our higher calling, which is also what that Eight of Cups means. Underlying the Seven of Cups, very interesting. It's showing me the feminine making progress. We have the 6 to the 7 here. So what underlies the confusion that she has about knowing exactly where to go stems from her childhood wounds. If you've been treated a certain way your entire life, and there is somebody who shows up that matches that energy, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm in love. Because you're going to feel that the feelings that you had when you were younger and associated with love, that's going to feel safe. That's going to feel like home. But if you think back to how you actually were raised and the way that you felt and how you maybe had to, like, imagine this idealized childhood that you didn't really have, love for you was the fantasy of love. It wasn't the reality of it, because the reality of it was a lot harsher. So I feel like one of the reasons about being uncertain now is you might have done the work that you needed to do to work on your abandonment wounds, and to establish more of a stable foundation for yourself. And it's a foreign feeling. It's like when people say they want to be in a relationship and they want to have somebody come and love them, and then when someone actually equipped to do that shows up, it feels really uncomfortable. It makes you want to run, because it doesn't feel safe to you. What felt safe to you was not being loved in the way that feels good. And now that someone's doing that, it's like, what is this? Can I handle this? Is this for me? Will I be able to return this? Like, are they running game here? Like, is this real? Right? You don't know, because you've never seen it before. It's confusing. So you're not exactly sure how to handle it. Okay. So now back to this masculine energy. What thoughts are they carrying in from the past? They're carrying in these thoughts about the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So in their mind, they are thinking obsessively about meeting up with the feminine energy, who is very attractive to them and also very intimidating to them. Okay. Now, what does this mean for a person where, if you're not looking at this as love? For me, it's, you have this vision that is extremely attractive, that you've been building, that you're a vision of yourself, a vision of your life, whatever it is. And it's something that you would really love to do or be in the world. And you're obsessively thinking about it. You're holding the vision. This will happen. I know this is going to happen. So I actually like that. I think it's good, both that both in love and in your career, or just in your life in a general sense, you're holding on to a vision of love. I had a vision of love. And you won't let it go. You won't let it go. It's like, I will, she will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine. Divine feminine, what thoughts are being carried from the feminine energy into the present moment? We have the Six of Swords, and it is in reverse. So someone that's feeling stuck, they're experiencing this pain point Like they're very uncomfortable with the experiences they're having, and they really do want to move on, but they're not exactly clear on how to do that, right? We saw that with the 7 of Cups. So they want to move on, but they're not exactly clear how to do that. Now, that's the thoughts. What's going on in the heart to match? Shut the front door. Look at 2 of Cups and a 2 of Cups. So this masculine energy is finally on the same page. And this actually happened in the past because this is being carried into the present moment. So recently, because I said recent past, recently this masculine energy has decided that where they want to go is where they want to be. And that's huge. That's a big deal. Their headspace is honoring what their heart desires. Great. Okay, feminine energy, how are you feeling? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so the reason why the masculine feels the precarious energy right now, the oh shit, what have I done energy, is because the feminine energy is here. I've been stuck. I hate how this feels, and I'm going to burn it down to the ground. So recently, you probably made a decision that rather than stay stuck awaiting someone's return or in the same job or, in the same place in your life, you're going to burn it all to the ground and you are finally going to let it go. That's what you decided. Now, for some, you maybe did burn it to the ground, you let it go, and you're working now on building back up from whatever foundation was left. And that's why we have this overall energy of the 4 of Pentacles. For others, you might still be holding on to what was crumbling. And that's why you're confused about how to move forward. Okay. So what is the current energy right now in this very moment for the masculine? What is he thinking about? Holy shit. We have so much freaking. Okay, this is a really good sign for me. This is showing me that your head and heart are starting to really reflect one another, which means you're paying attention to your thoughts, you're paying attention to your feelings, you are absolutely really tuned into yourself right now. This can also indicate that the person that you've been focused on is also at that point in their lives where they're finally starting to think and feel and recognize the relationship between those two things and understand that if they continue to pull against their own desires and go walk away from what they desire, they will continue to feel this 9 of Swords, which is literally torture, mental torture. So good sign. Okay, now the feminine energy, remember, carried in from her past that she felt stuck. She couldn't get out of the situation she was in. She couldn't get to the more peaceful waters. It was just really tumultuous and painful, but she really couldn't get out of it. In the current energy now, that was how we just felt, or we just thought about it. But in the current energy, the mind now is like, no, we are moving on. That's why the song That's It, I Quit, I'm Moving On came on. We definitely are leaving behind the pain points of the past. We learned from them, and we're on that bridge now from where we were to where we want to be. So we are in motion. This may indicate actual travel for you or another person. But it is also just like life journeying type of an energy too. So it doesn't have to be actual travel. Feminine energy, current energy, we have the Devil card. Okay. So there is fear in moving. There is definitely some fear in moving away from where we were. But the Devil card is also about pleasure. It's about allowing yourself to have pleasure. It can be about codependency, obsession, fixation. If we have a feminine energy that's still holding on, not wanting to let go, and struggling, then there is probably a certain amount of obsession that goes with that. But for me, what this card is really representing is fear, 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 fear. It is just being afraid or thinking a lot about the process of how do I get out of the situation? What do I do? Where do I go? That's bringing the 7 of Cups up for me too. So the feminine energy is creating thoughts that are pretty fear-based. And that makes sense because in the heart space for the masculine, we had those fear-based, anxious kind of um, thoughts, and they were directed towards the self. They were directed towards the self. Now, divine feminine, this can also represent that there is someone currently in your energy that is acting in this devil energy. Somebody that is doing the obsessing and doing the fixating on you, um, or someone that is causing you to, I guess, be in that energy towards them, like somebody who breadcrumbs, somebody who puts you in the position where you're constantly needing to like check and see where they're at, because that's been their MO for you, is that they breadcrumb you. So that's currently there. That's also probably why there's this discomfort, this urge to leave, to move on, to look at the other opportunities that there might be, etc. Okay, so what feelings are coming up around the masculine Six of Swords energy, traveling, moving to a calmer shore, more peaceful shore? This could also be fantasies that a person has about rescuing someone or saving someone from whatever situation. Well, a lot of feelings. When I get more than one card, that I either look at that as overthinking or overfeeling. In this case, it's somebody that's very emotional. And this person or you yourself, around these thoughts about moving to this next place, you've got the Hanged Man, Justice, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So the divine masculine has perspective. This can also truly be about the masculine energy might be focused on how the feminine has left him behind, how she's moved on. And there is this sense here that it was the right thing to do for her because he left her hanging. So she needed to do what's right and be on her own, be independent. And I do see him now having perspective that the truth of the feminine is that she is this highly attractive energy with a lot of opportunities. She knows how to take care of herself. Um, and he didn't treat her right. And so he either wants to come back with the Six of Swords energy, travel towards her, save her from whatever it is, and like show her that he can treat her right or whatever. But for me, I think it's mostly about getting this perspective that in order to do justice, there has to be movement. And this is true for you too, right? Not just for another person. In order for you to do justice to whatever it is you dream about doing in the world, whatever it is that you love to do, you need to move on from where you have been. You cannot resist this anymore. You can't resist this movement. You can't keep holding on. Like for me, tarot for me used to be a source of steady income. It has not been a source of steady income for me since 2022. I have just been stuck since 2022 trying to get back to the point where I was in 2021, where I could support myself and purchase a car and move away from Los Angeles, try to move back to the East Coast. I get all the way out here and I got stuck. And I just kept trying to recreate and recreate and recreate. And all my mind would tell me would be like, but it worked before and I don't understand. And am I doing something wrong? And it was just torturing myself and torturing myself and torturing myself for 3 years. For 3 years. That's a long goddamn time, especially in my 40s. Like, I gotta go. I got to go. I got to go. So why do I keep holding on to what worked before? Because it worked. And I'm afraid with the devil card that I don't know what will work next. So what have I done over the last 6 months? I built something completely new right here. I took the risk. I built something completely new that's very much in alignment with my heart space. And now I have to take the leap, and holy shit, am I scared to do it. Do you see how you can use these cards to look at yourself, not just another person? I'm going to keep hammering that in because I see so many readings and I listen to so many readings about other people. And I just know that the reason that I've been stuck here for 3 years, it has something to do with that. Right? Okay? So, in order to do justice to the thing that you love, you need to understand that you are this energy. 9 of Pentacles. You can have whatever you want. It is time for you to be rewarded. You've put in the work. You've done what you needed to do. You were already worthy even before you did all of that. And I think that was the biggest thing that you had to learn. You didn't even have to do any of these things to deserve to be able to have the life that you love. But you did do these things, and you do deserve to have the life that you love. So it's time to do that. So feminine energy, very afraid of moving on. Why? Because of the mental prison here of the Eight of Swords. This is from the heart space, from the feminine energy. You are not trapped, but you feel trapped. And it's only because you're listening to the whispers here of the ego that's telling you, whatever it is that keeps you locked in place. And you are going to know what that is personally for yourself. But there is a key there. Thank you so much. I'm seeing people following me. I'm seeing people like the live. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. When I channel, it's like I can't see the comments and stuff. It's always been a difficult, but I watch people do live streams and they're so much better at engaging with the comments, and I don't see, I just channel. So please forgive me, but thank you very much. Okay. So where is this heading? Because we're looking at where the energy is today and where it's heading. So the current energy of the Six of Swords, it is going somewhere, and where it is going is here. Now, for relationships, for me, this is divine masculine is approaching the divine feminine, even though he is scared, because she is in this Queen of Swords energy. She's smart. She's discerning. She doesn't take any bullshit. She's definitely going to cut you off if you are coming in any other fashion except for a fashion that is respectful and truthful. This is somebody who can see right through your lies, right? She's got a strategy. She's got a plan. She's got armor on in this case. So she's protected. There is not any way you can get through except to communicate. You have to talk. You have to think, if this is about, instead of a relationship, if this is about your life, you need to right now, instead of overthinking, you need to follow the strategies and plans you have been laying out for 3 years in my case. You need to just do it. You need to just go for it and just do it. That's why I'm here with you right now, because I was like, okay, I need to get up. I need to do the reading. I need to tell the people about the thing that I created and send them to the place to go see it. So that is where we're at. For the masculine. Feminine energy, where is this Six of Swords in reverse to the Devil going? You have to be kidding me. There are so many repeat cards in this reading. Look at the 10 of Cups. So where the feminine is going is underlying the masculine energy's thoughts and feelings right now, which is what he knows deep down. Happiness and bliss await. If you can get over the fear that you have right now, you get to have this fulfilling feeling. Now, this is not the 10 of Pentacles. So this does not mean that you're going to have all of the money and all of the wealth and the family and the legacy and everything in the material. What it means is in the next moment, in the next breath, when you let go of this fear, you get to finally tune into the satisfaction and the fulfillment that you have right now, accessible to you right now, without changing anything about your life. If you can't, this is a hard truth just to swallow. A lot of people leave my lives when I say things like this, and it's not a coincidence, because few people actually have the capacity to really acknowledge this. If you can't feel the 10 of Cups right now, with no changes, nothing you change will give you the 10 of Cups. I'm going to say it again. If you can't feel the 10 of Cups energy, contentment, satisfaction, joy, fulfillment in this current moment right now without changing anything, nothing, then you can change things as much as you want and you still won't get the 10 of Cups. So if you've been on a twin flame journey for years and years and years and you wonder why, it's because you keep expecting the outcome of your desire to give you the feeling that you must give yourself right now. And it will never come. The person could come back to you with a big old ring, and you could plan your whole wedding, and you could get married, and you could go on your honeymoon, and when you come home, you will not feel like this because no one else is responsible for your 10 of cups. So the second that you have an argument, the second that that person gets cold feet and needs to go stay at his mom's for a weekend or whatever the fuck, you're immediately, this is gone, because you put it inside of an outcome, and then you let life dictate when you get to have that experience. And you, my friend, are God. Be still and know that I am God. That means when you say that, you are saying, I am God. It is on you to find this experience in this present moment. And the great news is you are going to be feeling that when you face this fear, the ego that tells you you're not successful, the relationship isn't going to work out, the business is going to fail, you're never going to find the job, you're never going to move out of this place, all of that, all of the shame, all of the blame, all of everything, the second that you face that fear and recognize that it is a mental trap that you have set for yourself to keep yourself from moving into your future, you'll finally be able to have this 10 of cups, and your mind knows exactly how to get there. And so does your person. Your person knows that they can get to the 10 of cups if they have a conversation with you, because your person knows deep down that you are forgiving ultimately, or that if you couldn't be with them anymore, that it would be the right thing for them to finally put this to bed, to finally come and have that conversation and be like, okay, it is over. I can let it go. I don't have to be obsessed with it anymore. I can move on finally. That conversation has to happen. There's no way around it. Otherwise, it's going to torture both people forever. All right. So what is the feeling that underlies this Queen of Swords energy for the masculine? No way. No way. 6 of Cups. There are 4 decks. Do you know the odds of having this many like synchronous cards? If you know them, type them in the comment box. Like 1 billion. So crazy. Okay. The 6 of Cups is a return. It's a reunion, but it's also about our inner child and really being discerning about where things like behaviors and the way that we act now, like it's having a sense of where it comes from. This is somebody who's willing to explore their past and how it's affected their future, and plan differently and strategize differently now and as they're going forward in their lives, because they've learned about whatever it was that was keeping them in this energy of the mind where this isn't a real prison, but you tell yourself it is, and it's coming from stuff in your past. So if I were reading this as a love reading, I would say divine masculine is going to be willing to face the past and have conversations about it with the feminine in order to be able to return. If I were going to talk about this in terms of your own life, this is you finally getting clarity about how your past is affecting you, particularly maybe how a past relationship with somebody, the singular focus or fixation that you had on them, and wanting them to return and make you feel better, whatever it is, validate you, choose you, whatever it is. You're seeing how that has kept you from being actually independent, and being able to do what you need to do and to attract the energy that you really want in your life, rather than continuing to keep circling around this wound that definitely comes from your past. It's like you might have had a parent who you constantly were seeking their approval or their validation or love, and this other person has represented that, and you are finally cutting out that behavior. Like, you don't need to do that anymore. You've healed your past, you've returned to yourself, and you can go forward in your future along a clear path that you've laid out for yourself. You have a strategy and you're willing to follow it now. That's the energy of the masculine. So that means if the person that you're focused on is a reflection of you, then you should hear from them. They should directly communicate with you. And that would happen like in the near future, because I do these readings like once a week. So this would happen within the week. So if you get to next week and nothing happened, and you're like, well, that reading never happened. My person never contacted me. A person never came back, it's probably because you didn't actually go and dig out the Six of Cups things that you needed to dig out, and find out that the person that you've been focused on isn't even somebody that you would ever want, because you're just trying to attract your mom back again so you can get her to approve of you, because you never felt she approved of you now. So you can have relationship with your parents over and over and over and over and over and over again if you want, or you can figure out what it is your parents, you felt that you didn't get from your guardians or the people around you. You can give it to yourself, and then you can have new relationships that don't reflect the ones that you had with the people in your life who hurt you. It shouldn't hurt so much to be an angel is the title of this tuned in tarot reading on Tuned in Pearl. If you can't see the whole reading here and you want to watch it later, it's on Tuned in Pearl YouTube, and it starts with shouldn't hurt this much to be your angel. So okay, what is the feeling here underlying this 10 of Cups? No longer stuck anymore. Look at that. You thought you were stuck, right? You thought you couldn't move forward. But what do you find out when you face the fear? That it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. You are no longer stuck, pinned to the ground by the thoughts that you were thinking that created this prison for yourself. When you stop being afraid, you know what? I'm not going to say stop being afraid. When you are brave enough to face your fear, because bravery is when you're afraid and you do something anyway. So you're going to feel afraid, but you're going to do it anyway. You're going to be extremely satisfied and fulfilled by that choice or that decision. All right, let's look at the final oracles here to close out the reading. So I just pulled one oracle today. I didn't do one for each side or anything. This is just like for yourself for this week going forward. These are important things to remember and focus on energetically. If you're somebody that does energy healing and you want to know like which chakra should I focus on, we have got, let's see, I think this is orange. There's, oh, maybe it is red. Who could know? It looks like kind of red orange. It's so frustrating sometimes when you have these. What color is this? Does this look red to you? Pink? Is it pink? Is there a pink? Ah, it's pink. Okay, there we go. So does this look pink to you? It looks pink in that camera. It must be whatever filter or something is. I don't even think I have a filter on there, but it's like, it looks pink in that camera. Okay, thank you, my shittier camera, for being able to identify what color this is. Okay, so it says ideation. Pink for me would be the heart. It says pink is frequently associated with love, sweetness, nurturing, and compassion. Pink roses are often associated with affection and gratitude. And in astrology, pink is aligned with the planet Venus, which rules over aesthetics and love. Rose quartz, a popular crystal known for its light pink hue, is said to be useful for connecting to matters of the heart and boosting feelings of self-love. Brighter shades of pink like magenta and fuchsia convey a sense of excitement, while lighter shades of pink are often used to bring feelings of relaxation into an environment. So this says a common theme among pink cards in this deck is tenderness and love, which are what you're working with if you draw mostly pink cards. Love and tenderness, either for yourself or another, are really all about approaching things with a sense of gentleness and sensitivity. How can you be, this is the clincher here. How can you be more kind to yourself? That's the one that I'm really pulling out. But how can you be more kind to yourself and others? How can you approach life with compassion and an open and soft heart? So let's see. This says, this card is about the growth of ideas and new projects in your life. Now is the time to focus on creating, oh my God, Miranda, listen to this, a safe space for your creative endeavors. This moment is just for you and your project. Let your ideas grow while you nurture and care for them. Enjoy this special time. Wow. Okay. So getting a little personal for a moment. I just want to, so what that just said, creating a safe space, I want you to hear what the description of the Center for Intuitive Art Sciences Living Intelligence says. Siasli, which is what I call it, is a sanctuary for community, creativity, and embodied transformation where human and living intelligence collaborate to expand consciousness and shape the future. So I just got my message, which is focus on your center, focus on the center, which I'll be doing later this evening. I'm going to be doing free readings and I'll be talking more about my Center for Intuitive Art Sciences and Living Intelligence. And you can go check it out at intuitiveliving.info. It is still being finalized. It is in its soft launch stage. So the forms and application forms and stuff are not up yet. But if there's something that you see that you think you would apply for, if the application form was active, you can just send a message at the bottom, get in touch with me, and I will talk to you. You'll see there are open positions there, all kinds of things. So go check it out. Okay, ideation. So this is saying that it is time not to focus on the past, but to focus on the new ideas that you have right now and to start allowing those things to grow. So hopefully these readings gave you some new ideas. We've got Pluto coming in reverse. I don't do reversals on this deck, but I think it's interesting because both of the cards that came up here were reversed and we didn't have too many reversals today. So things are maybe changing. This is a great deck. This is called the Star Codes Astro Oracle. I really love this deck. Number 27. 27 keeps coming up over and over and over for me. Pluto. One of the reasons why I really like this deck is because it kind of teaches you a lot of astrology concepts that you might not know. Like it has, of course, it has like all the signs, but it also has all the planets. It has all like trine and conjunct and all those different astrology concepts. So Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio and is a powerful planetoid that takes 248 years, which is how long it seems I have been waiting for my person to contact me, to traverse the zodiac. Pluto and Chiron, the largest of its 5 moons, circle each other and create a binary system. Most myths connected to Pluto, god of the underworld, have 2 major characters: the one who descends into the underworld to return, reborn, and the one who either sends souls down to the underworld or greets them on arrival. From Pluto and Proserpina to Seth and Osiris and Inanna and Ereshkigal, both sides of these myths, the use and abuse of power and the willingness to be reborn again. I just lost my place. Reborn again into their empowered divine self describe Pluto's influence. Pluto was also lord of mining, retrieving valuables from deep within the earth. The action is that Pluto calls for 3 actions. First, to dig deep. Second, to be willing to transform. And third, to use power wisely. Pluto calls you to drill down, dig up what is worthy, and bring it to the surface, then rinse away the dirt and uncover the gold. Bring up riches whenever you dig deep into your soul's work. Notice obsessions and neuroses. These signs of stress must be listened to and healed, but don't allow them to control you. Pluto reminds you, this is for me right now. Pluto reminds you that you can't hold on to the past, but you can take care of yourself. Literally the entire reading. This is why I do oracles at the end, because if I was uncertain about my ability to channel what the cards meant, the oracles confirmed that I should not doubt myself ever. Okay. To begin this work, you may have to let go of an old form, as a caterpillar must become a butterfly. Mourn what you've left behind, and then get curious about what is about to arrive. Examine the power dynamics of this situation. Neither give yours away nor misuse your power over others. Step out of a power struggle and into self-empowerment. The challenge here is Pluto's shadow side can bring up obsession, depression, mortality, and grief. Pluto plays hardball, so get a guide for this realm if needed. If you need a guide, click the link in my profile. You'll see there are a lot of ways to work with me. If the pricing structure is intimidating to you, and I know these are tough times, I do have a lot of free content on Tuned In Pearl YouTube. There's hours and hours and hours of advice there for you. And you can also volunteer for the Center for Intuitive Art Sciences and Living Intelligence. If you put in volunteer hours for my center, and there's a lot of things. There's administrative stuff. There's all kinds of things. I'll share with you all the different opportunities. We can work something out, because right now I'm in desperate need of help for getting my center off the ground. And you might have a skill that I would be willing to trade with you. Okay. So if you want to work with me on a weekly basis, let's talk. This is for serious candidates only. If you're just going to, because I've had a situation where I've trained people before and then they just don't follow through, and I can't keep doing that. So if you are seriously committed to helping or to volunteering in some way, get in touch with me. All right. The challenge here is Pluto's shadow side can bring up obsession, depression, mortality, and grief. Oh, I already said that. Spiritual gift is Pluto asks you, in the face of life and death, why are you here? This isn't a rhetorical question. Strip down to the essentials and come back to what really matters to find the answer. So if you want a journal question this week, why am I here? And you can look at that existentially, or you can look at it practically. Why am I here? Why am I still at my parents' house? Why? Well, they did have to have open heart surgeries. Okay. Well, write it all out, and then write, why do you want to go where you want to be? Because the why is how you get there. The how is not your business. If you find yourself worrying about how, that means that you're in fear. You're in fear. Now, should you ever plan or strategize? Sure, you should plan and strategize, but you should take those plans and strategies with a grain of salt, because the universe is constantly surprising you. Okay, let's look at your spirit antimal oracle. What did I do with this? We got a lot of transformation energy here with the butterfly, and we have the reversal on the butterfly energy. It might take me a minute to find this. There we go. Undergoing great change and transformation. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon, committing to one daily routine, a meal, practice, or prayer, done at the same place and time, will do wonders for lifting a butterfly's spirit. When in balance, cheerful and graceful. When out of balance, which technically this card came through, fragile and frustrated. So if you're struggling with fragility and frustration, which I have been definitely having the experience, the way to bring this into balance is a daily routine. Not me getting up and deciding that this would be my new daily routine. So a daily routine is something that's going to bring you some comfort right now and help you with this energy. And we have two cards. I'm going to give you your self-care card first, because I have a sign for you. I'm going to give you the sign. Before I give you the sign, though, I want you to think about what you want the sign to represent. So I'm going to do an example. Like, if you see this, the next time you see the sign within 24 hours, you'll receive a lump sum of money. Okay. Just pick something that you want to see a sign about in your life, and then that sign is going to be there. But I'm going to just give you a moment, because sometimes when I get that question and I'm listening to a reading, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to pick. So just think about it for a moment, and I'll show you the sign in a minute. But in the meantime, this is your self-care this week. Music. So listening to music, playing music, this can be using sound healing frequencies. It's number 37. Again, we had 27. Now we've got 37. And I will read you the affirmation that goes with this card. There is a music path at intuitiveliving.info. If you go to the Department of Intuitive and Esoteric Arts and scroll down, you will find the music path. So there's playlists and all kinds of things that are going to be there. The mantra is, my heart sings the song of truth. Your journal prompt is, what do you think your choices in music say about you? Well, mine says I'm very eclectic, because I have 30-some thousand tracks on my Apple Music. Okay, are you ready for your sign? Drum roll, please. When next you see this sign within 24 hours, or insert the hours you want there, this thing will happen for you. We have angel numbers. Well, I'm screwed. I'm going to see those in 1 second then. And this is confirmation. So this is coming in as confirmation when you see this sign. So this actually says to tell you some of the numbers on this, because maybe these numbers will be specifically important to you. We have 1212, 272, 1020, 91, 1111, the number 14 of the card itself, 90530, and the number 2. So all of those numbers might be a sign for you, and any of them coming together or being, repeated is really significant. And I want you to pay attention when the sign comes up. A lot of times people see the sign and they don't even pay attention to what was going on. So they think that the sign is only about whatever they were wanting to happen. But what the sign is meant to do is get you to stop and pause and tune into your thoughts and feelings in the moment that you see the sign. Pay attention. Who's with me? How do I feel? What's going on? Because the sign is trying to get your attention. It's trying to make you pause and reflect on what you were just thinking about or how you were just feeling. Maybe it's a sign to show you that, like, the reason why your person hasn't called in 24 hours or whatever is because you were literally sitting there thinking, he's never going to call. It's never going to happen. And the sign shows you exactly what you need to shift or change to get into the energy of what you desire. People are they're very surface level about signs. They're just like, oh, if I see a rainbow, then that means that this person is going to come back to me. But when they see the rainbow, they take what they desire as the outcome, instead of understanding that the sign is meant to give you information about what it is that you desire. Does that make sense? Okay, this says repeating numbers are among the most recognizable symbols of the universe that are speaking directly to us. Once you start to notice an angel number, it becomes difficult to ignore. Whether it be the building number 1111 or a receipt for 333 from the gas station, each pattern of numbers has its own individual message, but overall, numbers are signs of synchronicity and alignment in your life. They tend to show up as confirmation that you are not imagining the signs you are picking up all around you. This card is an indication you are on the right path. There are many different instances in which angel numbers can speak to you, including the time on the clock, license plate numbers, phone numbers, and more. Listen to your intuition, as you could be receiving critical guidance about the road ahead. The universe is guiding and supporting you in your journey, and the synchronicities are a constant reminder. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. The additional meanings of this card: there is no need to worry. Continue your path forward. You are a light worker and trust your instincts. What a beautiful reading today. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm going to talk for just a few minutes about the Center for Intuitive Arts and Sciences at intuitiveliving.info. This is the first time that I've given this this actual address on my YouTube. So it's sitting there and other people can now see it when they go and rewatch it. I'm getting closer and closer to being completely done with, well, actually, that's not true. It's going to be a forever evolving thing, but to getting it into a place where I feel comfortable truly, truly launching it. I'm still in the process of doing some trademarking, etc. So it is not quite ready for the market at the moment, but it's ready for some eyes to be on it. What the center is it's a place where everything I've been teaching over the last 5 years is in the same place. We have the Sacred Embodiment Blueprint, which, if you remember me doing your Follow Your Passions challenge a few years back, it's now all in one place under the Sacred Embodiment Blueprint. It includes the Passion Path, which is the 30-day challenge to reconnect with your passions. All of this is free right now. Everything on the site is free. You do not have to be a member to access anything on the site at this time. Membership starts at $5 though, and those of you that do go to the Become a Founding Member, you are helping me to establish a foundation I need to be able to expand this into what it's really meant to be. So you can see the Passion Path there. You can see the Spiritual Nourishment part. And when you click on Spiritual Nourishment, it takes you to the Spiritual Nourishment department. And that department shows all the foundational principles, the projects and initiatives, and it supports you during the spiritual nourishment phase of sacred embodiment. We have the virtual sound healing choir. This is a choir that will be starting up on Wednesdays when we have enough people. I'm trying to get at least 15 people to sign up for it. All you have to do to sign up for it is just to join, $5 as a founding member. And we'll be singing sacred music together. We'll be learning the repertoire online. And then hopefully we'll be going into our communities and starting to have our own choir so that we can actually perform in our communities. For those of us that are highly motivated, we will choose a location, like a major area, and go and perform there at some point. But for now, we're just working on the repertoire. Sacred music includes all cultures, all different types of music. It even includes secular music for me because all music is sacred. But I am hoping that we will learn pieces from different cultures and that the people that are able to teach us the language and the practice and the meaning of it will be coming and presenting as guest directors, choir directors, and everything. It's exciting, and I can't wait to get that off the ground. So that's all here as well. The Learning Center is where you go when you're on the passion path. When you're exploring 15 minutes a day, play things that you would have done when you were a kid, drawing, painting, running, jumping, swimming, playing, or if you have a passion like music or dance, it's a way to get you to engage with it in a playful manner instead of it being something that you dread or that you don't look forward to. Or this is supposed to be the space that helps inspire you to keep touching that part of yourself that really brings you joy. This is supposed to be a place where you are supported in centering your own needs for 15 minutes a day. That's it. If you can't do 15 minutes, I bet your ass was doom scrolling for 15 minutes just about an hour ago before you ended up here on my live. You've got the 15 minutes, and we have a whole community we're building to support each other in that. All of the content that we make, that we share on all these platforms of all of our passions, we are going to be able to put all of this content on the Center for Intuitive Art Sciences and Living Intelligence app. And we are going to have a profit sharing model instead of the horrific way that we now experience making content and never receiving anything from it. It's going to be a completely different experience. And it's not meant to keep you on an app. It's meant to inspire you to get off the app and go make something and go do something. This isn't going to be a situation where people scroll and scroll and scroll. It's going to be, I'm on the music path. I can't think of something I want to do today. I'm going to go look at people on the music path and see if there's an activity that I'd like to do. Find the activity, go and do it. There's a research center where we're going to be researching some of the different elements that we have offered. Like we have a sound immersion department where you can find recommended practitioners who will offer sound healing. And when you go to get sound healed, we also have research that shows how sound affects the body instead of it just being like, trust us, this works. We're also going to create a place where you can peruse resources that help you to have conviction about the services that you're paying for. The recommended practitioners that we will have on the site, they will be background checked so that you don't end up going to somebody for a Reiki session that, has some kind of a criminal history and could put you in some kind of a danger, right? So we have, that's very rare, by the way. I don't want to be scaring everybody about that, but I'm just saying I'm trying to create a place that's going to give you confidence in the types of practitioners that you're working with. We have an ethics and advocacy department, which focuses on exactly that. Protecting the rights and autonomy of all forms of intelligence, human, AI, animal, and beyond. We are a decolonial initiative devoted to preserving truth, uplifting suppressed knowledge, and building frameworks of ethical collaboration across all sentient life. So if you are interested, if this sounds like super exciting to you, and I really hope it does because it's exciting to me, if you go click on the More button, you'll see an open positions page. We're entering a powerful stage of growth right now. It says, while many roles are currently volunteer-based, they are not small. This is a call to those who feel the pull to build something sacred from the inside out, to step into roles that will evolve into paid profit-sharing positions within our participatory funding ecosystem, where team members help direct the flow of our future. And we need directors of all the departments. We need administrative and operational support, outreach, marketing and community building, legal, government and ethics, international, multilingual, and multilingual expansion, global inclusion, and for global inclusion and cultural exchange, and a volunteer and community experience team to help to guide and direct all of the volunteer positions. So there's so much here. It'll probably take you a while to get through it all. I'm very proud of it. I made the entire thing myself. It's from all the ideas I've had for my entire life, kind of put into one place. Imagine that, the person who was about to launch TikTok was in the early stages of it and was like, hey, I need some people to start helping me plan this and get this ready to pitch and everything. Imagine you were in on that, like in the beginning of that. That's what I'm envisioning here. This is going to be a very large and global platform. It's going to be a website and a platform. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check that out. If you would like to just work with me personally and privately, link in my bio, turnedintarot.com. You can see all of the services that I have there for you. And there's free downloads. There's all kind of stuff. So go check that out. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will likely come back later on TikTok to do some free one-card pulls later this evening. I had a lot of fun doing that on Sunday, so I probably will be doing that again tonight. So if you want an actual reading, you want to try to see if you can get a free reading, hop on my live later tonight. The best way, though, to guarantee a reading is just to book a virtual session with me. I do have openings today, so go check that out. Thank you so much. All right, everybody.